History doesn't remember who was truly good. It remembers who looked the part. We live in a world where masks are currency and virtue is theatre. Every platform, every stage, every handshake, it's all a performance. And the crowd? They're not searching for substance. They're applauding the illusion. You've seen it. The charismatic leader praised as noble while hiding corruption. The influencer hailed as spiritual while chasing clicks. The polished smiles, the rehearsed empathy, the authentic branding. Virtue today is a style, not a standard. But here's the darker truth. People don't actually want real virtue. Real virtue is uncomfortable. It demands confrontation, humility, sacrifice. It's slow, quiet, often unseen. But faux virtue, that's easy to digest. It flatters, it conforms, it entertains. It makes people feel good about themselves. Machiavelli knew this. In The Prince, he wrote, "It is unnecessary for a prince to have all the good qualities, but it is very necessary to appear to have them." Think about that. In the game of power, perception trumps truth. Appear compassionate, even if your heart is cold. Appear just, even if you twist the rules. Appear virtuous, even if you deceive. Because perception doesn't just influence others, it defines reality. The more people believe you're good, the more they forgive your sins. The more they trust your face, the less they question your actions. And the most dangerous part, you start believing your own act. This is how entire systems rise, not on honesty, but on the convincing display of it. It's not what you are, it's what you appear to be. And so, we must ask, in a world so obsessed with appearances, is true virtue even relevant anymore? That's where the illusion begins, not just around us, but inside us. We wear masks long enough, we forget there was ever a face beneath them. Und. We are not judged by who we are, but by the mask we wear most convincingly. This is the age of performative morality. People don't ask, is it true? They ask, does it look good? Our culture rewards visibility, not depth. It praises those who shine, not those who are silent but sincere. The philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, "We are not only content to be admired, we even wish that others would admire us for qualities we do not possess." That's the essence of modern virtue. Appearing good is more satisfying and more profitable than being good. It's not hard to understand why. To truly be virtuous is to struggle, to live against the grain. It means saying no to comfort, to popularity, to blind conformity, but to appear virtuous. All you need is the right filter, the right quote, the right audience. The appearance brings applause without the burden of integrity, and society plays along. A politician performs tears on camera and is called courageous. A celebrity posts a donation receipt and becomes a hero. A guru sells branded compassion and is hailed as enlightened. But these are not acts of virtue. They are acts of branding. Why does this work? Because we, as a collective, crave comfort more than truth. Real virtue unsettles us. It forces us to reflect, to confront our flaws, to change, but an illusion. That just lets us feel good without effort. The more we reward performance, the more truth becomes irrelevant, and the more dangerous this becomes, because if appearance is everything, then morality is no longer a compass. It's a costume, and if everyone is acting, who's left to be real? Even worse, those who dare to be authentic, who reject the performance, are often ignored or punished. Their too intense, too quiet, too weird. The world doesn't know what to do with someone who refuses to play along, and so slowly we all learn the rules. Smile, nod, say the right words, post the right things, wear the mask. Not because we believe, but because we know that's how the game is won. But at what cost? When we all wear masks, does anyone even remember what a real face looks like? There is a reason why history remembers the honest villains more vividly than the fake saints. People can smell authenticity, even in evil. A tyrant who speaks openly about his hunger for power is feared, but oddly respected, while a noble leader who cloaks his ambition behind soft smiles and moral slogans often sparks deeper suspicion. Because we intuitively know those who pretend to be virtuous are often the most dangerous. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." The wise leader, he said, must master the performance, not because it's noble, but because it's necessary. In a world obsessed with appearances, survival belongs not to the pure, but to the persuasive. You don't need to be honest. You need to look honest. This is why image consultants thrive, why corporations greenwash, why influencers sell minimalism while flaunting wealth, why spiritual gurus use soft tones and soft lighting, but run empires. They understand the true law of power. Perception is reality. And here's the dark twist. Even if you are sincere, you will be judged by the strength of your illusion. Even if you're authentic, the world will compare you to the well-packaged lie. That's why truly virtuous people often remain invisible. Their integrity is too quiet. Their work is too slow. Their words too cautious. They don't play the game, so they never trend. But here's the secret. If you master the illusion, not to deceive, but to protect, you can survive without losing yourself, like a lion in the tall grass, not pretending to be weak, but choosing when to be seen. Like a sage who smiles during madness, not because he agrees, but because he's outgrown the need to argue. Power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply watches from behind the mask. In the next part, we'll expose how this illusion is not just individual, but systemic. How entire industries depend on your trust in the mask, and what it takes to see through it without losing your sanity. The world doesn't reward those who are good. It rewards those who look good. Virtue in the modern arena is no longer a matter of inner substance. It's a matter of optics. It's a game of lighting, angles, tone of voice, carefully rehearsed empathy, and politically correct phrasing. You don't need a conscience. You need a good brand. This is why some of the most toxic people master kindness as performance. Why brands that exploit labor overseas run social justice campaigns. Why leaders with blood on their hands talk about healing the world. Why influencers sell authenticity while using AI to edit their faces. It's not hypocrisy, it's strategy, and society, ironically, rewards this illusion because it's easier to digest than the truth. A surgeon can have shaky hands, a pilot can have doubts before takeoff, but a leader, a creator, a visionary cannot look unsure. So what do? Do we join the illusion, fake virtue to survive, or do we stay real and risk being forgotten? Here's what Machiavelli would say: don't become the illusion. master it, and use it, not to deceive, but to protect your truth in a world that punishes it. Appear calm so they don't sense your rebellion. Appear agreeable so they don't crush your resistance. Appear virtuous, not because you are pretending, but because you are guarding something too real for their world to handle. Because remember, once people know your truth, they will want to own it. And if they can't own it, they will try to destroy it. This is the final layer of power, to remain untouched, even as they stare directly at you. To be seen and still be unknowable. To move through the world like a ghost wrapped in gold. And maybe this is why in every culture the greatest teachers wore masks, not to hide, but to teach without being corrupted, not to deceive, but to endure. But what happens when the illusion gets too strong and we lose the line between the mask and the self? That's what we'll uncover in the next episode. The dangerous seduction of looking virtuous, and how entire systems, from governments to gurus to algorithms, are built on your addiction to the beautiful lie. But let me ask you this. If everyone around you is faking it and you start doing the same, did you lose yourself or did you finally adapt? Comment below. I'm listening.